back to the Optimum U Show. I want to talk about learning today. Leaders are learners, lifelong learners to be exact. And there's a quote that says, "In times of change, learners inherit the earth, while the learned are beautifully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists." Okay, let that sink in. You're equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists. That means if you stop learning, you're going to lose. So how do we keep on learning? We go through, your formal education all the way up through high school. That's 12 years of school out of, the average lifespan. So it's, I think, 77, 78 years. Okay. So 12 years of school, add to that a bachelor's degree. You got 16 years of school. You can have, all the way up. Let's give you a doctorate and say you got 20 years of school, right? That's still 57, 58 years of your life that you're not actively learning in the formal education system. Okay. So I don't even need to talk about the ups and downs and pros and cons of the formal education system. I definitely have opinions on that, but I want to talk about all the time that you spend in your life after you're done with the formal education. Okay. And we have to keep learning. Things change. They change so fast. There's, they say that somewhere in the neighborhood of 80% of what you're learning in a master's degree program is obsolete by the time you're done with that program, or you just flat out don't use it. They say also that a bachelor's degree has a 5-year shelf life. So what happens when your education expires? You have to keep on learning, and there's continuing education for requirements for some fields. There's just ongoing personal growth and development. Now, I want to talk about what I feel is the best way, the absolute best way to learn in our current day and age. We have so much information flowing; it moves so quickly. The speed at which things are changing and growing far outpaces our ability to implement it into formal education and training systems. So what does that mean? It means that we need to find opportunities to learn from the people that are in the front lines, driving the changes, participating in the changes, responding to the changes. That's kind of the tiers. But by the time you actually see a change, identify what it is, document all the things, create a course, go train somebody on it, it's already behind the times. So we need to be learning in real time. And the best way to learn in real time is to surround yourself with people that know what you want to know, and people that want to know what you know, because we all have our own life experiences and our own expertise and our own understanding and our own ideas, and we're going to be able to interact with the world as it's changing, and we'll add value to other people based on our current unique understanding and experience, and they're going to add value to our lives with their unique perspectives as well. So I say you need to surround yourself intentionally and regularly with people that are doing what you want to do, that know what you want to know, that are going where you want to go. That's the way we need to learn today. And what does that look like? It looks like a mastermind. That's the key concept for today. Is we need to culturally shift our learning into the mastermind format. And when we have the opportunity to say, I want to know more about this thing, I need to go find somebody that is in the mix. If we have, from a societal standpoint, if we just all get on board with the idea that with things moving as fast as they are and changing as fast as they are, somebody that wants to become proficient in my field of expertise shouldn't necessarily have to take years to go through some formal education that's outdated to learn to get to the point where I am. I want to be able to take people under my wing, mentor them, make specific intentional deposits into other people as an expert in my field. And I also want to go and make specific intentional withdrawals from other people on the knowledge and experience that they have in their field. So if our societal culture was based around that concept, then we would have a system in place for all of us to say, you know what do I know? And I need to extract all the stuff that I know that would add value to other people and put it into a some kind of format that makes it easy for people to digest that information from me. And if I have that system in place, I'm constantly updating as I learn new things. I update the repository of information of things that I know, and it's pre-formatted in as I make things. It's made in such a way that people can consume it easily and digest it easily. And systems like that would be in place. And if everybody had a system like that, where everything you learned in life, you very intentionally said, how can this add value to other people also? I'm going to capture this stuff so that I can disperse it and disseminate it. I want to be a river, not a reservoir, as some people I look up to say, right? And so if this system were in place and everybody was using it, then we would have a constant flow of knowledge and expertise that's readily consumable, that you just go, it's the real-time face-to-face interaction that's kind of like, Google and YouTube. These days, if I want to know something, I'm going to just type it into my computer or my phone and try to find a video. I'll even go for a video over text, because I can just have it sent to me instead of having to concentrate so much on reading it. That's the world we live in today. So if we were ready to share and distribute our expertise, and don't get hung up on the word expertise though either, because I'm talking hobbies and not I'm not talking like I'm an expert in sales or technical or software or engineering. I'm talking basket weaving and knitting and crocheting and darning socks and growing corn and all, the entire gamut of human knowledge. Anybody that wants to spend time doing something and be good at it, there are people in the world that are already doing that they can learn from. And I want to see a world where people can get access to that knowledge and expertise in a relational sense, not just consuming it from a screen per se. I wouldn't rule that out, obviously. But I think that there should be a relational dynamic. And if we can all jump on board the Mastermind bandwagon, a mastermind is a group of people that gather together, either face to face in the same physical location, or you can gather together virtually on a video call, or you can gather together via phone. But whatever the case may be, you're making some intentional relationships exist that you are there to learn from and add to. So you learn their expertise, they learn yours. You brainstorm, you share ideas. It becomes this collective genius that you get to bundle up and take home with you. You learn so much faster. Tony Robbins talks about how you can, one of his favorite things was always to read people's stories, read biographies and things like that. It's like, if you can condense, 10, 15, 20, 30 years of life experience and knowledge into a book that you can consume in a day, wow, how much can you learn from that? You get the benefit of an entire life worth of experience in a day. You get the same thing if you begin to interact with people in a mastermind format, but it's more dynamic than reading a book. It's, by the time the book's written and published and distributed and you buy it and read it, you could potentially already be having stale information. And the authors of these books go back and go, wow, if I could write this book now, there'd be a whole bunch of different stuff in it. John Maxwell doing that, right? He's revised a couple of his books, and for example, the Developing the Leader Within, I think it is the one he's got. He's got this the 2.0 version. He was gonna just do a revision, and it was a revised and re-released, but he rewrote 80% plus of the book because he's just got a new take on everything, and it's a completely new set of information. So if you can be face to face with somebody, if you can be in a relationship with somebody that is intended, that it's a relationship that's designed to mutually add value to one another from a knowledge transfer, life experience sharing, brainstorming, we all boats are lifted with the rising tide kind of mentality. That's the best place. That's the best place and the best way for people to learn. And I'm huge on cooperating with your natural design, right? So if you are a visual learner, I want you to capitalize on that. If you're an auditory learner, I want you to capitalize on that. If you're a kinesthetic learner, I want you to capitalize on that. And the beautiful thing is that it doesn't matter what your learning style is, what your information processing style is. It doesn't matter what your personality style is. They're all compatible with the Mastermind format. Everybody can go in and learn from other people. And I don't know how to emphasize it enough to say that this is something, you might spend 20 years in a formal education, learning in a classroom setting, earning credentials and degrees, but you're going to have 50 plus years of your life on the back end of that education where things are going to change, and even if your formal education lasts longer than what they say the shelf life of a degree is or whatever, it's not going to last 50 years. I can guarantee you that. You're going to have to keep on learning because things are always going to be changing. Things are always going to be growing. You're going to be changing and you're going to be growing. And the Mastermind format is a way to be constantly adding new knowledge and new experience and gathering it rapidly. It's much faster than a course, and this is just from a learning perspective. Forget there's a whole nother facet to masterminds, and let's just jump into that right now. I think I've beaten the dead horse with the learning side of things. The opportunity for new ideas and growth in a mastermind format are unparalleled. They're insane. I've participated in masterminds, and these opportunities that I've had from a shared experience, sharing the same space, whether it be mentally, physically, emotionally, it doesn't have to be the same physical space. I think it works best that way. I like it best that way. But it's still very effective in a virtual setting. But the point is you're pooling multiple brains into the same concept, and you work together as a group on each individual's problem. You just go around the room. What do you need to solve today? Let's all brainstorm some ideas on how you can solve it. And every time I've done that, I get so many, I get new ideas. It's like all of a sudden, they have this saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. When I'm close to an idea and a concept, and I've been just pouring my heart and mind and soul into what I'm doing, and I need a breakthrough, I need something else, and then somebody comes along and is like, hey, what about yada yada? And it's just the first thing that pops into their head, but their unique perspective brought that to mind. And I'm like, holy cow, that's the thing I needed. If you remember those old El Paso commercials, where for it's for the that flat bottom taco shell, right? And they're like, for centuries, ever since man invented, started eating tacos, they've been trying to solve the problem. How do we make them not fall down? And they show people, trying to make their tacos, and they tip over, putting two together so they don't tip all the way, putting hammering nails into the table so they can stand their taco up. And they're like, yeah. And the little kid's just looking at it and he goes, what if they were flat on the bottom? And then everybody's like, "Whoa!" They cheer and lift them up and celebrate, and introducing the new flat bottom taco shell, right? I have experienced that. I've been the guy hammering nails in the table to try to get my taco to stand up, and somebody's like, "Hey, what if you did this?" And I'm like, "Okay," mind blown. That's what I needed. Every time it's been in a situation where I am sharing space with other people and their unique perspective. It's rarely been like we're both, me and other people are laboring, and then finally there's a breakthrough. It's like somebody was like, we're sharing a problem. They're like, first thing that pops into their head, what about this? And I'm like, oh, that's what I needed. Thank you. And I've seen it happen. I've experienced it happen, and I saved hours, days, weeks, months, years of plowing through and laboring on things simply because I combined the brain power of multiple people on the thing I was working on that were not involved. They weren't vested in my thing. It was just what's your perspective on this? And I've gotten some of the best ideas from people just trying to help me out in that space. And I've seen the people get the best ideas from the same type of thing. Masterminds are where it's at. And in the time that we are in right now, the concept of masterminds has been around for almost 100 years. It was first coined by Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, which he published in, I believe, 1938, might have been 1928, somewhere in that decade, right? So nearly 100 years since the concept was introduced. He interviewed thousands. I want to say, I'm not going to pick a number because I don't want to be wrong, but thousands. He interviewed thousands of people, very, very successful people, a huge gamut. We're talking, Henry Ford level successful people, and distilled down all the different things that he found that they do. One of the things that they do that allowed them to achieve the success that they achieved was surrounding themselves with a group of people that are focused on growing one another and helping one another problem solve and brainstorm, and he called it a mastermind. And that is what I'm talking about. Even though it's been around for this long, it's not common knowledge yet. It hasn't reached that tipping point where everyone's like, we all need to be in a mastermind. Well, let's replace the entire education system with mastermind, and I'm not suggesting that necessarily. But the point is, that shift is coming. We're still on the upward slope of the adoption curve of the concept of masterminds. You need to get in on this now. You need to learn how to take the things that and you care and you're passionate about, and pull that stuff out of you and arrange it in a way that's consumable for other people, and essentially become the expert on that. Create masterminds for people that want to learn what you know, and find masterminds full of people that know what you want to know. And the personal growth potential in the mastermind market is massive. The income potential in the mastermind market is massive. Everybody's going to be doing this in the future. Get in now while you can. And I please please do it. Please get in. This is the thing. I feel that I have a moral obligation at this point to capture what I know and share it with people. That and just anybody that wants to know what I know, I want to share it with people. And I would love to spend all my time in investing in other people in that way, for free, and just say, hey, here's, you want to know what I know? Let me tell you. And just share and grow people and serve people in all that way. The reality is that the nature of the world and commerce and needs and all that stuff, in order to do that as much as I want to do, I need to monetize it so that I can spend more time doing it. Otherwise, I'm going to be spending a bunch of time earning money to survive, doing whatever it is I do, and then going out and helping people from the mastermind perspective. So what I want to do is I want to invest in people as much as possible, but I'm also going to monetize that practice, and I'm going to have masterminds that people pay to be in, and I'm going to pay to be in other people's masterminds, and I'm going to hop on this wave that's gaining size and speed and momentum of the information product industry, which, by the way, is currently a $129 billion a year industry and climbing quickly. And I'm going to capitalize on that so that my provisional needs are met and I can spend as much time as possible investing in other people. And I hope that you want to do that as well. And if you do, there is going to be a live training event that's being put on by Tony Robbins, who needs no introduction, Dean Graziosi, also needs no introduction, and Russell Brunson, who doesn't need an introduction either. He's newer on the scene than Dean and Tony, but the three of them have done billions and billions and billions of dollars in revenue in their business. They're very experienced at building businesses, launching businesses, running businesses, growing people, teaching people, extracting knowledge from people so that it can be distilled and distributed and add value to others. That's what they specialize in. And they are collaborating. This is like a momentous occasion in human history. They're collaborating on a new product and that is designed to help you do exactly what I've been just talking about. Extracting your knowledge, distilling it to something that's consumable and formatted in a way that's consumable and distributable, and showing you how to turn that into a monetized business for you to be an expert at whatever it is you want to bring to the world. Everybody's designed to bring something to the world of value. And whether it be principles and characteristics or a skill or information, just knowledge, a service, whatever it is, we're all designed to serve humanity in some capacity with our own special, unique skills and abilities and gifts. And Tony Robbins has been spent decades pulling all of that stuff out of people and helping them to take that out into the world and add value. And Dean has spent decades learning how to distribute and disseminate information to people in a way that adds value to them, that's easily consumable, that they can learn from. And Russell Brunson he's spent decades learning how to connect with people from a marketing perspective, how to understand human behavior and why people buy and when people buy and how people buy. And all these three guys put this stuff together, and it's like the coalescing of the most relevant expertise of our time into a single thing that you can buy and get value from. So they're going to be doing a live training. The training is free. They're going to go 90 minutes and just teach you stuff that If you only do that, you will walk away changed and be able to make some progress. They're also going to introduce a thing that will be available for you to purchase that is going to be a game changer. It's going to change the way we do business. It's going to change the face of the information product industry. Again, $129 billion a year industry right now. It's set to grow very, very quickly into, multiple hundreds of billions of dollars. I think this collaboration that these three guys are doing is going to probably launch that to make it even faster growing. And so I want to get as many people as I can to go and show up for that training. I think you'll get value out of it regardless of your situation and regardless of your financial situation. Maybe you don't want to buy stuff. Maybe you're not in the market to buy something. That's fine. I don't care. I don't care about the buying. I care about the learning. I want you to have the opportunity to get a taste of a mastermind like learning opportunity in which these three guys are going to be collaboratively working to help you learn something. Their goal is that in that training is to invest in you and help you grow and help you learn something that you didn't know before and increase your capabilities that you didn't have before. And I want as many people to participate and get value from that as possible. If you feel compelled to do the purchasing of the knowledge business blueprint, which is what they're selling, awesome, cool, do that. You'll get value out of that too. I intend to get it and get value from it myself. But I want you to learn. I want you to have this once in a lifetime opportunity to learn from these guys who have never done something like this before. Tony Robbins hasn't produced new content in over a decade. He hasn't had to. He just does his thing that he's been doing, his live events. Obviously, he adds his current life experience to live events, but he hasn't produced a new thing for people to just get and consume in a really long time. So he's got a lot of stuff built up inside of him that he's been collecting over the last 10, 15 years that we now get to start benefiting from on purpose at our own pace. So this is going to be huge. This is going to be an incredible once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to learn something great from these three guys and potentially get in early on a new tool that will help launch you into levels of success that you only dreamed of. So I want you to get that. I want you to benefit from that. In whatever form that you are consuming this information right now, be it video, audio, whatever, I will have a link attached to this. It's going to lead to a page where you can get on my list, and I will give you the registration link to register for this free training. The free training is on April 30th, 2019, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, April 30th, 2019, 8 p.m. Eastern, and the registration is going to go live on April 19th, 2019. And if you are on my list, you're going to get that, stroke of midnight. You'll have that registration link, and you go reserve your spot, and you get that free live training from Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, and Russell Brunson, powerhouses in their fields. And you use that link to go to the live training. You view the live training, and you see what you do. I will be publishing the registration link when it goes live elsewhere as well, but if you're on my list, you get it first. As soon as the 19th happens, I'm going to update these posts that have this video or this audio or whatever it is with the registration link, and I'll be posting it on social media as well. I want you to get in there, and I want you to learn, and I want you to get value out of this stuff. It's going to be huge. It's going to be awesome. So Masterminds are where it's at. monetize your expertise and your the things you're passionate about, and you will go far in the world, because you will, when you're operating from your personal enthusiasm, you will always over deliver. I promise, always. And if you can monetize your passion and over deliver, you'll be successful. There's no question. Okay, so thank you for taking the time to hear this out. I care about you. I believe in you. Have a great day.